Hi there. Okay, so I'm going to do my second mukbang, and today what we're going to have is this chicken, and it's a little bit spicy. John made it. It's got some tapatio in it and barbecue sauce, and then some like chicken Florentine, which is these bow tie pasta with some spinach and chicken in it. And since it's getting warm, we decided to go ahead and have just to barbecue some chicken because it's like 80 degrees outside here in Jackpot, Nevada, which is like probably one of the cooler parts of Nevada. Like, not like cooler like trendy or hip, but I mean like cooler like as far as weather goes. Our weather is very similar to like Salt Lake City, even though we're a few hours away. So we're gonna do this. John made this chicken, and it just looks so good. And I'm super hungry. We had company over, and I just didn't want to eat in front of them. So I've been like holding my appetite for all day. So I'm ready to just scarf away. So there you go. That was good. Okay, so this chicken Florentine is from Schwann's, which is the delivery truck that comes out every couple weeks. And it tastes better than homemade. It tastes like you went to a restaurant. It's so yummy and delicious. So hungry. That is just so tasty. Okay. So I figured while we're here and it's getting warm, I kind of wanted to talk about summertime. And I wanted to have like a story time of where I talk about a situation that happened to me when I was 9 years old. It was during the summertime. It was actually August, like right before I started going into 4th grade. And my uncle and my dad put together, like they just like would refurbish bikes and stuff. And so I didn't like us. There's like 6 kids. My mom had 6 kids, and so they would put together bikes from like the Desert Industries or from some kind of a thrift store. They'd just gather parts and then they create them. And so they built this new bike for me, and it was way super fun. And one time, me and my sister, we were riding around the block at our house. We lived in a trailer park, and we were riding around the block. And as I went around a corner, the fork of the bike that you steer with, the fork just didn't. It came off. Like it came off as I was turning, and as I was turning, so since the fork came off, then like I plowed like right into the road, and I like biffed it. And it's August, so it's like 103, 110, maybe 110 degrees. And so I like smashed into the ground. I actually lost memory of that whole entire day. I didn't even remember. Like there's a little bit of pieces that come back to me that remind me of like what it was like riding the bike around there, and I'm wondering if sometimes if that's an actual memory of that day, or if I'm just remembering going around that block, because I went around that block like millions of times. So I was behind my sister, and she said she was racing me, or like we were racing, and she was ahead quite a bit. And she was looking forward, and then she looked back, and I was there, and then she looked forward, and then she looked back to see where I was, and I wasn't there, and she saw me like plowed down into the ground. So she turned around, and she got herself to wherever I was, and I was just laying on the ground. I mean, I had to have been unconscious, because she said, well, I don't remember this, but I was on the ground for a little while, and then she said when she got to me, I lifted myself up, and then I just like my face just poured out blood everywhere. And so when she had seen that, she knew there was something serious going on. So she ran to the house, and my cousin and my mother were there. And and she let my mom, there's something wrong. Amber's hurt really bad. And so my mom went out, and my mom knew it was such an emergency, and so did Brenda. They both knew, my cousin, they both knew that it was such an emergency that they better get their butts out there and tend to it quickly and stuff. So they did. And my mom got blisters all over her feet because she ran down the street and everything. And I think Brenda did too, because it was a really hot day. And I was just laying there, and I didn't know, like, to me, I didn't know, you know, that anything was going on. Like, I think that even though I was moving, my sister saw me lift my head up and stuff, that I was, like, not coherent, like, brain-wise or something, or, like, it just hit me so hard I don't remember. So they went down to where I was at, and there was a big pool of blood, and my teeth came out. Like, it had knocked my teeth completely out, and they were permanent teeth. And so my cousin had to fish for them. Well, my mom picked me up and took me home, and I remember once she got me to the house, and I was laying on the living room floor, one flashback of memory that I have, it was like seeing the beams. You know how some mobile homes have, like, especially the ones in the 70s, have beams that go across the ceiling. I just remember looking up at the beam going, what happened, like, kind of like just really dazed, like, what happened. So she called the doctor or the dentist or whoever she needed to, because she knew there was going to be a lot of face construction that needed to be happening. And it was John C. Jones. And she took me in, and the doctors were like, this girl, like, she's in really bad condition. Like, we've seen people who've been hit by cars that didn't look this bad. Sad, huh? And then, so like, I blacked out after that moment of looking up at the beam, and throughout that time, they were able to put me in a vehicle and get me to the next place wherever I needed to go. And I was wearing this awesome leotard I had from dance that me and my sisters and all my cousins, we all danced and stuff, and I was wearing this zebra printed leotard, and they had to, like, cut it off of me in order to, I don't know how to eat these things. They had to cut it off of me in order to take care of me and dress my wounds and stuff. And I just remember seeing the big bright light that they use. And when they would put me on a gurney, I remember being on a gurney, and I don't know if this chicken is cooked all the way. It looks good. Do you remember that video? I think it was We're Not Gonna Take It, Twisted Sister, and they had these big old turkey legs and stuff that they were eating, and it looked like raw meat, and it was so gross. That video, like, gave me the creeps as a kid. Anyway, that's what this reminds me of. I'm, like, tearing into this big old hunk of meat. I can't even get into it. It's a little bit spicy. John put some Tapatio in it. Got a new bottle of Tapatio to put on it, but it's mostly just like Great Value barbecue sauce. So, let me see if one of these look more cooked than the other. That one looked a little bit pink to me. I was still eating it anyways. God, what a freak. Anyways, so they tried to put the teeth back in and then use like some kind of, it was like braces or something. It was, I don't know what it was, but it was like braces, and they were trying to put the teeth back into my mouth to see if the roots would like grab a hold and stuff. But it was so awful having those things who were so tight on my mouth. And I just kept on like messing with it throughout the time I had it and stuff. That's good. Like the barbecue sauce is really good. I'm trying to make sure that I just get the cooked stuff because it looks like it's, I think this needs to be cooked more. So that was kind of a fail there. Oh well. Hopefully I don't get sick. Yeah, that one too. Okay. Well, there's the chicken. It looked really pretty for what it was, huh? Look at my fingers. Okay. So, they put me on a soft diet. I was eating like ice cream and pudding and Jello and stuff, and my mom would have to wake me up in order to remind me that it was time to eat. And I remember waking up a few times, but it was like for an entirety of like 2 weeks. I was on the couch. I was just on the couch laying there all day, all night, all day, all night. And I remember like it just, I could only sleep it off. Like I couldn't be coherent and have conversations. I remember waking up to friends down the neighborhood, down the block and stuff, stopping by and bringing coloring books and crayons. But I wasn't coherent enough to even be able to use that. So, and then I think my aunt also brought me some stuff just to kind of like crayons and paper, just something to buy the time while you're healing. But the thing is my brain wasn't waking up. Like I didn't wake up. So there was like literally like a couple weeks of lost time where it was just all darkness and stuff. It was kind of scary. I held up enough to start going to school. 4th grade started. But they had like pictures like on one of the first days of school, and I had like scars everywhere. And the braces to keep my teeth and to try to grow the root. And they didn't. They never grew the roots. They didn't grow back. So I ended up getting a partial plate for my mouth. So I had false teeth since I was 9 years old. Like a plate and stuff. The kids at school, the ones that I would tell about because I was always so like self-conscious about it. The kids at the school, I would, the ones that I would show, they thought it was like the coolest thing. Like, oh my gosh, she's got false teeth. And I remember my uncles had false teeth, and they would go like they do this, like rattling them and stuff. And I always thought that was cool. And then when I was 9, I was able to do it right back at them. Anyway, so I remember when I was like 14, and the false teeth I had broke, and I remembered like being so mortified. I was like, I'm not going to school. No way am I gonna go to school without my teeth in my mouth. And then when I got pregnant and stuff, then I was able to get an adult pair because I had those fake teeth from when I was 9. And I think the ones that they gave me when I was 14 were also the same size. Like they just like remade the same retainer. Like my mouth didn't grow or something. I don't know. So I had these little teeth because like by the time my mouth, like my whole body had grown and everything. So my front teeth were like really small. So when I was like a mom and I was able to use the insurance to get a new pair, then I was able to get some grown-up sized teeth. Anyways, is that a crazy story or what? Anyways, I can eat hot food though when other people can't. a lot of people will burn the roof of their mouths when they eat pizza, especially like, what is that kind of pizza, like French bread pizza or something, and it gets really hot. I don't burn myself when I'm on, just because I have that protective barrier. But it was just a really hard time. Like, there's something like frightening about losing time, like when time goes by but you weren't awake through it all. Like, I mean, not like you slept like an overnight sleep, but like when you literally lost like 2 weeks of your life that you know you'll never remember, or if you like, because I was on the couch anyways, so sleeping, but I just was blacked out through it all. It was crazy. It was so crazy. The kids that I showed, they were like really particular. Like they didn't go around telling other people about it and stuff. So a lot of kids just didn't even know. And that was probably better, because like kids find ways to be mean, and like Amber isn't really like a really easy name to make fun of, but they called me Pampers. Like they found a way to be mean. I really hated school growing up. Friends were awesome if they were nice, but like a lot of kids were like, I don't know, it's just really hard. I'm somebody who likes to get to know people like one-on-one and stuff, which doesn't seem like it because I'm on stage all the time, but like getting to know someone, I'm not like a group bonder as much. Like I can entertain a group, but I'm not like, you know, I love to have conversations one-on-one with people. And I don't know. I didn't know that much about me growing up. When I was a kid, that was something I had to identify with as a grown-up. So, okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm so bummed out that I didn't get to eat that chicken because it looked so good, but like as I see too, there's just too much red and it's too like stiff the way like you know, bloody meat would be. And if it was red meat, I wouldn't care, but chicken, poultry, that kind of stuff is not good for you to eat raw. So kind of a failed mukbang that way. But I can tell it would have been really good. I just need to put it back in the oven and eat it. But the chicken Florentine from Schwann's was super good. I'm going to finish that. That was really good. And I'll just save that for now. So one thing I did want to talk about, like regarding that bike accident and stuff, like it did leave change in my face. Like you see this part of my lip. I have people ask me, they were like, oh my gosh, your doctor did such a good job. This is a scar for my lip right here. Like it just comes down. You can see the scars. Oh, I got stuff in my teeth. Hold on. I'm gonna get that out of there. Did I get it? Okay. Sorry. That was from my chicken Florentine. But yeah, look, you can see the scars here and here, and then you could see it, how it goes like this and this down here. It's got like all these scars from when I fallen off my bike. And then this like punctured, like must have been split or something. It punctured all the way through this lip. So somebody's like, your doctor did a really good job. I'm like, did a good job on what? They said, oh, your cleft lip surgery was really nice. I'm like, I never had a cleft lip. But they always thought that was a cleft lip right here, because it comes down like that. Which is nice, because like in pictures it looks really pouty and Angelina Jolie-ish, but this side is like way more, like this looks like it's more even and stuff, you know? Like it doesn't have that goofy thing here. So when I'm rich, I'm going to get cosmetic surgery and get this thing here removed. And I'm going to get wonderful teeth. So that, I just wanted to kind of show you like some of the things. I had burns on my shoulder, on my hips. My cheek was scarred up, like totally ripped, mangled up and stuff from it. Like it was, I mean, the doctor told my mom I looked worse than a victim from being hit by a car, and like I had a hamburger face. So sad. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you like what some of the things were like the visual things. That's why I love makeup so much, because makeup can make that stuff just disappear. You know, you can conceal that and stuff. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you. That's part of me. Like, this is part of my life. This is, you know, I've had this all of my life. All of it. 9 years since I was 9. I'm almost 38. So, I'm almost 39. So, for 30 years, I've had fake teeth and scars and uneven lips. Alright. So, like, kids find ways to be mean. If they're gonna be mean, if they got mean bones in their body, or they, you know, find somebody to isolate or something because there's something weird about them or whatever, they're mean. Like, kids can get mean. I didn't like school. I like learning. I love learning. Even still to this day, I love to learn. But probably not like in a super public place. I like to learn at my own pace, or the things that I'm particular about learning. I think everyone's like that. But having friends is super fun too, of course. And now I'm gonna eat. This is my dessert. It's a chocolate snack pie. I'm really bummed out about this failed mukbang. I guess I could put it back in the oven and start over or something, but as a kid, I always struggled, you know, with kids. Like, I just wasn't, like, popular. You know, there's just a lot of things that were, like, kids find to pick apart, and then self-insecurities and stuff. You don't feel worthy to stand up for yourself. Some people do. I didn't. So, anyways, it's like, you know, it's a pretty big story. Like another time where I was really close, like where I got hurt really bad, was, my first pregnancy. My son was big. I had like diabetes or something, but they didn't know, like they didn't catch it. It was my first pregnancy. My body reacted a little different. You know, I got palpitations all the time, but the doctor was like, that's normal, it's normal. Women who are pregnant have palpitations. I'm like, but I feel like I'm going to black out when I have them. And he's like, oh, that's normal too. Okay. Well, when I had him, my heart rate was, I can't remember if it was 280 or 310. Like, I don't want to stretch the story, because if it was 280, I don't want to exaggerate and say 310. And I don't remember why, but I know that for a couple of hours, my heart rate just was at 310 when I was during labor and delivery. And it wouldn't come down. Like, they gave me oxygen bags. They were trying to get me to calm down. And when your heart rate is that fast, it's hard to feel like you can calm down because you feel like you can't breathe. You feel like you can't breathe until, or like you can't catch that breath. Like, there's a specific breath you're trying to catch that will slow it all down. And it kept just like inhaling, like trying to capture that oxygen, and it wouldn't. I couldn't do it on my own. They'd give me a brown paper bag, put me on oxygen, and they did whatever they could. Tried to get me to change positions on the bed and stuff. They couldn't do it. So finally they had a cardiologist come in, and he had to give me a shot of epinephrine in my heart to kind of reboot it. In all my other pregnancies I've had where there were live births, my heart never ever did the same thing again. I really feel like that having a baby was such a shock to my body that it didn't know what to do, and that's how it resolved, I guess, or how it tried to react to such a big deal like having a baby, you know. So that was a kind of scary situation. I had some people come in and see me in the hospital, and I felt so bad. I had to tell the nurses, I was like, my body crashed. For like 3 days straight, I couldn't stop sleeping. I had to sleep. I had to tell the nurses to ask that my visitors don't come visit me until I've been rested. And that was like 3 days. They still released me, and I was still really, really weak for myself. I was a pretty strong girl growing up, as an adult, I was pretty strong. So, like, just not ever coming back to that strength again, for a little while. And like, even having to walk with me and the father of my kids, we went to the store, and I just felt so gutted and just gutless. Like, I didn't have any way to keep myself up, I just felt like I just had to lean on the cart and just walk, which I should have just gone home and kept resting. But that was another time where it was pretty scary. My body went through all of that impact with my heart beating so fast for so long that I just couldn't recover fast enough. Like, that time during the hospital, I just was like needing to have rest. So it got a little bit crazy. I've had a couple of experiences where it was like that. I've never broken a bone in my entire body. I'm not sure that I've even sprained anything. Maybe a tailbone. I don't know. My dad, he had a carnival ride collapse on him when he was working at the carnival, and his collarbone kind of, it bent. He told me, we don't break, we just bend. And I was like thinking that's funny because I've never broken a bone, but I've hurt myself a few times, and I didn't sprain anything, I didn't break anything. But sure enough, like, his collarbone bowed, and it didn't break. But he was in the hospital for a few days in intensive care because of what had happened and stuff. But I just kind of was trying to demonstrate, like, that I haven't had any broken bones. Just those two incidents, when I was 9, a major incident that's left me with false teeth for the entirety of my life since I was 9. And then, I'm so jealous because Jeffree Star has these crystal zirconium teeth, and I'm just like, if I had the money, I would be more than happy to just like pull them all, get all of my teeth pulled, and then just have them put like plates of crystal zirconium because they're so pretty. But that's a whole different story or a different scenario for me. So anyways, I'm in my room. I'm eating at my dresser here. I'm trying to keep it quiet because I've got kids and husband out there. They're just watching TV and kind of being a little noisy, so I just wanted to isolate it and come in here and say hello and have a mukbang with you guys. And this is my second one. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get to enjoy the chicken, but the noodles were super good. So y'all know who Schwann's is. If you want to try some really good chicken Florentine, seriously, it's so bomb, the bomb. So alright, you guys, I'll let you guys go and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and push subscribe. Alright, take care. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.